You're listening to Home Run on CBC Radio 1. And coming up, a Montrealer making it big on Facebook and YouTube.
It's no secret that our Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is a real media darling. In fact, he's been getting so much media attention, both nationally and internationally, that I'm pretty confident I can go around making up ridiculous Trudeau publicity stunts, getting everyone to believe me, and asking their opinions on them. So that's what I decided to do. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau just announced that he is going to be appearing this week on the popular British TV show Britain's Got Talent.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Where he says he'll eat 32 hot dogs in under a minute.
Whoa.
That's amazing.
You like that?
Like me. Yeah, I used to do this when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah?
Justin is so relatable. I love Justin.
Do you think he can do it?
Sure hope so. He's going to look like a fool.
If he doesn't do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's a little excerpt from Adam Susser's latest video where he tested what people would believe about Justin Trudeau. Home Run's been taking a look at Montrealers who are hitting it big on social media. Adam Susser's most viewed video has more than 300,000 views on YouTube and Facebook combined. And Adam joins me in studio. Hello.
Hi.
So tell me about that video that we just heard.
That was a fun video to shoot. I decided to do something very CBC friendly and specific. So everybody likes Trudeau. He's a newsmaker. And it's been a while since I just blatantly made up things, which I used to do a little bit more of. Lies and go and tell people and have them believe me. I wore nice pants and I tucked in my shirt and he was a piece of cake.
Okay, yes. It's amazing what people will say.
Yeah.
So I want to find out more about the kind of videos you make in a second, but first, just sort of your path and what led you to start making videos that you post online.
Okay. Well, I've been doing stand-up comedy for about 12 years. And before I did stand-up, I always wanted to be a sketch comic. And I figured, okay, until I can move to, this was like when I was 15, and I figured until I'm old enough to move to Toronto and join Second City, I'll just do stand-up. Immediately fell in love with stand-up. And continued to do that. And I just kind of started producing my own videos about 8 years ago. They were sketches. 8 years ago, you have to understand the internet was completely different than it is now. So it would take like 2 months to produce a sketch. They were dissimilar to what I do now, which are videos that are very easy to produce. And then I stopped because I was like, I'm never going to get big putting out like a video once every 2 months. Went back to stand up. And it's been about 4 years that I've been doing this consistently. I started doing this at CUTV, which is Concordia. I'm a Concordia alum. And they taught me how to use better equipment. I learned how to use, Final Cut Pro and all that stuff. And my stand-up skills have helped, obviously, because this, I like to think it's kind of like a mixture between stand-up and sketch. It's like doing a sketch with people who don't even know that they're in a sketch.
Right. So describe the kind of videos you do. There are often innocent bystanders.
Yes, very often. Fortunately and unfortunately. I go around and now my videos have evolved. I mean, I've been doing it for 4 years. So it's changed. They've changed so much. At first, I would just kind of make people feel very uncomfortable. And that was funny to me. And then I got picked up. I had a community TV show with Bell that never made it to air. It was called Intensely Uncomfortable, where I actually had a budget and a whole team of people.
Imagine that. Those are the good old days.
Yeah. I know
saw
it's
you
changed
in
now.
one of those episodes dressed as a squirrel.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. I dressed up.
That was not a compliment.
Like a squirrel. I'll take it as a compliment. I'm glad that's made it to you. I dressed up like a squirrel, went downtown, and tried to get people to give money to my fictional squirrel organization called Adopt a Squirrel, where I had a whole elaborate story about how I was going to rent or buy like millions of acres or many acres in Hudson, and I just needed to raise $2.5 million, and I would put squirrels there and make like a sanctuary for squirrels. And everyone believed me because they thought I'm a great actor. And but nobody wanted to give me any of their money.
I'm surprised. Whenever we talk about squirrels here on the CBC, we get a lot of reaction.
Really?
Yeah, you'd be amazed. You should try it.
I feel it. I feel strongly about squirrels too.
So why that specific choice of using other people? Because it's risky, right?
No, well, I don't know. I'm pretty good at dealing with people, and I'm able to sense when they're about to, when they've had enough, and I could sort of, step back a little bit verbally, and I'm a people person, so it's I can something that I can get away with. I do it solely for production purposes. It's just the easiest thing for me to produce.
Right.
That's why I was never like I used I'm a big Tom Green fan, and in the late '90s, he was doing videos like this long before the internet and before anyone did things like this. And I used to watch him and be like, oh, I wanted to be a comedian, but there's no way I would ever want to do the type of things that he does, which he really pushes the envelope, or did when he made those videos. And I do maybe a fraction of that. But look at me, I mean, I'm doing it now, and I never thought I'd be doing videos like this, but it's purely, like I said, out of convenience of just, I'm a team of one, more or less. With no
So
budget.
I don't know if I'm interpreting this properly, but it seems to me that you sort of tried to go mainstream and then kind of ended up being like, well, your TV show didn't last and that kind of thing. So it was like, well, I'm going to do this myself and put it on YouTube. Is that a fair assessment?
No.
Okay. Tell me.
Actually, the opposite. I consciously didn't try to be mainstream for like the first, let's say, up until very recently. And I just want to be an artist and do what I think is funny. And I get a kick out of people thinking that I'm weird and I do weird stuff. And like some of my videos, like the squirrel, I did one where I was camping outside of the iPhone store, dressed, I bought a tent and a whole like yellow rain suit. And I just sat there for an hour and a half with a camera, and the camera doesn't seem to deter people from realizing that it's a joke. People thought I was serious. And then I posted online. MTL Blog ended up writing an article about it. And people with the comments, people would watch the video and be like, this guy's crazy. He's a nutcase. Takes like, what a loser. And I just got a real kick out of that. That's funny to me. It's kind of like playing a joke on people,
right?
But now I've moved away from that because I'm not super huge where people get it. So I kind of learned you have to kind of let the audience in on the joke,
right?
And then they can get it and laugh along with you. And since I've been doing that, things have changed, as well as because I've been doing other things.
Okay, so because 300,000 hits is a lot of hits to have. I know all your videos don't have that many, but so how? So what is your motivation now? Because I'm wondering if when you start to get that kind of reaction, it's like, oh, I'm going to put this out and see if I can get 400,000 hits. Yeah,
right now I'm sort of in build audience mode. And I'm not too worried about money. It's just that's the motivation. Yeah, it's thrilling. I've been doing I've been doing comedy for 12 years, and really things changed for me. Even though I was, I was working for MTL Blog and I was on a show and stuff. That was cool, but things changed for me at the end of October with the first video that I sort of returned to post on my own page because it really was my most viral video. And for the first time gained me my own fan base. And that's the most motivating thing.
Right.
So it's hard to be a comedian and to perform for an audience of 3 people. The most motivating thing is if you can really say, wow, I can put something out there and people can see it and it can make a dent. That's what's really exciting.
Exciting, is it, can you make a living at it?
Yeah, I think so. I was doing it all last year. Like I said, I was working for MTL Blog and I was on Music Plus show, a sketch show with Mike Ward. So he was French sketch comedy show, and I was doing it full time for about a year. And the show got canceled, and MTL Blog canceled their video department. So I'm back to just sort of working a part-time job. But no, things have been happening. This has been my year so far, and I'm always getting in talks with different media outlets, and I think it's only a matter of time before I'm back, doing this.
I guess that's where the sort of link is kind of interesting to talk about because, I've met a number of people who have come in here who have huge followings who are Montrealers, some on Instagram, some on YouTube. Not all of them have been able to translate that into a career and money. Some of them have. So it's like, what is the magic formula? For you, it seems to have been, you've gone away from YouTube and more to Facebook?
Yeah, YouTube, it takes a different set of skills to be successful on YouTube compared to Facebook. And for years I tried to make it on YouTube, and it's just too difficult for me. To the type of stuff that I do, I usually, 95% of the time I write alone. And to produce a video, like the main thing is you have to produce a video every single week on YouTube. And I was just never able to do that other than when I was employed to do that full time. And then I was working with a small team of people.
Well, and the other thing that I've found about the people that are successful on YouTube is they seem to, I know they have thousands of followers, but they seem to somehow have a to and fro, back and forth relationship with their audiences, which is difficult to maintain, especially if some of your stuff is a bit out there.
Yeah, I guess.
You don't have to agree with me.
No, well, no, but it's hard for me to say because I feel like my stuff is so much less out there now.
The squirrel
And,
thing was.
the squirrel thing was before I had like a real audience. I was more friends. And no, but actually I posted a video last week or 2 weeks ago where I was making fun of the Justin Trudeau elbowgate, and I was doing it extremely dry, and it was just a big joke. And most people got it, and it was very akin to the videos that I used to do. Where if you don't know me, you'd think I was being serious. And there was surprisingly some people who were just like, "This guy's like what a loser! Like how can he think that?" And I was saying absurd things, sarcastically going against the grain of popular opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm, as sort of my audience grows and more people know and are in on the joke, I'll be able to sort of move more back into the absurd.
Yeah, those things are hard to do. I mean, the CBC show this and that did that, and they used to get letters all the time. Like one time they had a show about teaching dogs in Montreal how to speak French. Because it's funny. But a lot of people wrote in and said this is absolutely ridiculous and probably animal cruelty. So not everyone likes that kind of humor.
No.
So what's next for you then, Adam?
I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Like I said, hopefully something will happen. Well, something will eventually happen with whoever I'm talking to, this or that. But I'm happy just, making videos for my own channel because I have an audience. So that's satisfying and a lot of fun. Yeah.
Right on. Well, thanks so much for coming in. I appreciate it. And for making a video just for us.
Wow, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
My guest in studio is Adam Susser. He's a stand-up comedian, sketch comic, and video producer. His YouTube channel is called An Evening to Remember, but it is better to just search Adam Susser. You can see him in person at the Comedy Nest next Friday, June 10th, and we'll tweet out all that information.